So, good evening, everyone, and a very, very warm welcome to today's webinar hosted by Regenesys Corporate Education. I'm Avni Bhatnagar, the Director of Learning and Development at Regenesys, and I'll be your moderator for this session. We are gathered here today to explore a very timely and a very important theme: how emerging technologies like AI, digital platforms, and immersive tools are transforming the way we teach, learn, and prepare our students for the future. So, we've been seeing that education is undergoing one of its most profound shifts in decades. And our learners today have new expectations. Faculty members face new challenges, and institutions are being called upon to innovate faster than ever before. So, this session brings together some of the most respected education leaders to share their perspectives on a few aspects, like how are institutions responding to changing learning needs? How are students engaging with new technologies? What support and training may our faculty members require? And the opportunities and challenges in scaling the digital learning. And with that, I'm going to move on to introduce our very, very esteemed panel members who bring deep experience and vision to this conversation. And I'd like to start with you, Professor N.D. Mathur, Vice Chancellor, Vivekananda Global University, Jaipur. A very, very warm welcome, Professor Mathur. Professor Mathur is the Vice Chancellor of Vivekananda Global University, Jaipur. And with years of leadership in academia, he has been closely associated with shaping university strategies for future-ready learning. So, Professor Mathur, I'd like to, understand from you what innovative digital learning practices or immersive tools has Vivekananda Global University adopted to engage its students more effectively?
Thank you. In fact, Vivekananda Global University has adopted the new education policy in toto. And according to the new education policy, the emerging technology is very important. And in Vivekananda Global University, we have started certain new courses. Even today morning, I have launched a new course, BTech Computer Science AI ML course we have launched today.
Okay.
So this is part of emerging technology, in fact, and we have taken many practices. There are practices like developing or enhancing the foundation skills on digital technology for our students. Then technological awareness of the students should be increased through reading daily technical news and then follow global innovative trends, that we support our students in doing that. Then hands-on projects relating to AI or relating to virtual reality or relating to augmented reality. Then interdisciplinary learning, we are promoting that people from education or psychology and neurosurgery, they can connect together and they can do the interdisciplinary research. Then future-proof skills like adaptability, creativity, then problem solving, then collaborative work. These practices are being adopted, and especially we focus on certain activities that some specialization can be obtained in certain areas. And then there are ethical issues also, especially when you deal with blockchain or you deal with editing of the biotechnology, then ethical issues are also there. So ethical responsibility is also learned by our students. So these are the good practices, digital practices. We are adopting new courses and then all these awareness programs and hackathons also for our engineering students, so that they can become well versed with the technology.
Great, great. Thank you so much for sharing these points with us. And I think, what you're saying, especially from the point of view of innovation, Professor Mathur, that is very, very critical for each of us, because these innovative digital learning practices will frame the student's perspective, future, from the point of view of engaging with new technologies very, very well. So thank you so much for that, Professor Mathur. It actually brings me to another question for you. Um, Scaling digital learning in India faces a lot of infrastructural and also cultural challenges, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you'll sort of agree with me, and I think all our panelists here will agree with me. How do you think is your university, Vivekananda Global University, addressing these realities?
See, in the past, we are using technology, we are learning to use. Then in present, we are learning to innovate, learning to create. And in
Mm-hmm.
future, we have to live with the technology, within the technology, in fact. It will be a way of life. So we should be prepared for it. And regarding your question of infrastructure and cultural challenges, I believe that infrastructure is a myth. But in case of technology, infrastructure is necessary also. So in that case, we are taking help of certain knowledge partners also, so that better infrastructure and better labs and better industry connect can be done. So infrastructure challenges can be being met out through knowledge partners, which they are collaborating with us. We have signed certain MOUs with knowledge partners, which are helping us. And the cultural challenges, definitely the ethical challenges, we have to
Mm-hmm.
learn that, and we have to make aware to our students. The ethics is also very important, and these cultural challenges and diversity, respecting the diversity, etc. That should be taken care of, and they are being very nicely taken care of by our university.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Professor Mathur. I have been listening to certain very interesting points that you have shared, especially with respect to, like you said, diversity and culture. So thank you so much for highlighting how universities can practically embrace immersive learning despite challenges. And I think that gives us a strong foundation to reflect on what's next in higher education. Right. All right. Thank you once again. And with that, yes, with that, I'd like to move to Professor Ranjit Singh. Good evening and welcome, Professor Ranjit Singh.
Good evening. Thank you.
Professor Ranjit Singh is the Vice Chancellor of Shobhit University, Saharanpur, and he's known for his extreme and extensive contributions to building progressive academic frameworks and promoting research-led learning. So, Professor Ranjit, this research-led learning is something, which is uh, something which is going on, and we would really, every industry, every sector that you look at from a perspective of learning and development is very intrigued by research-led learning, because if the learning is not led by research, then I think we're not yet there. And I'd like to, with respect to that, I'd like to ask you that, Shobhit University has a very strong academic foundation. And with respect to that research-led learning, how are you integrating AI and digital platforms into your institutional growth plans?
Thank you very much, Avni. It is a matter of great honor to be part of this great panel, diversified panel, and to share my views. Before I answer your question, let me tell you, I am heading a university which is located in pure rural background in district Saharanpur of state of Uttar Pradesh. And we are catering, we have diversified population of students, but we are generally catering to the student of 40, 50 kilometer periphery, generally belonging to farmer family backgrounds. So we have different kind of challenges. The university is though located in a rural background, but we have all modern infrastructure, whether they are labs, classrooms. As far as leveraging with AI or digital platform is concerned, we have not done much with AI right now, but digital platform we are using, and which the chance that we got during 2020 due to COVID disruptions. And from there, we are enhancing that. And we have initiated the transformation, and we are moving very swiftly in this direction. We have adopting learning-centric strategy to make education programs relevant and effective. Ours is a multidisciplinary university. We have Ayurveda, pharmacy, naturopathy, and then engineering, technology, agriculture, education, law, management. We are using digital platforms very effectively. We have created smart classrooms that using those classrooms very effectively. We do have ICT-enabled classrooms. We are using technology in teaching and learning, even in assessments. We have a LMS, that is Digi platform, where we have integrated teaching, lesson plans, attendance, quizzes, assignments, and assessments. We have software-based practicals, particularly in pharmaceutical sciences. We have some virtual labs also. We are we motivate the students. Basically, we push them to use online resources, and we go for blended learning, both face-to-face teaching and online and offline teaching. Then we push our students, motivate them to use MOOCs, SWAM, and Patil. Credits are given to them, though it is just starting. We are just picking up. We have a virtual interaction with students, virtual training, internship with them. We have a digital library, which is equipped with the integrated library management system. We are promoting self-learning from online platforms, using digital tools, digital literacy we are promoting, raising the awareness, remote learning we are promoting. We have enhanced our IT infrastructure and from time to time, but toward AI, we have not started yet. I mean, to creation of kind of virtual 3D classrooms or chatbots or virtual assessment. But as far as the AI is concerned, at individual level of faculty and student, they use it for some time. We have recorded online lecture, we open source learning, we promote. So in a way, we are moving very swiftly toward adoption of technology. And as far as the AI integrated classrooms or the teaching learning is concerned, we are planning for that because it needs huge investment. So probably in next few years, we will be able to do that. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Professor Ranjit. I think that is very, very insightful. You know, you're also talking about integrating LMS, already using LMS for assessments and so many other elements. And that's how, you know, you're integrating AI and digital platforms. Professor Ranjit, I have another question for you, which is, you know, actually stemming out from what you just shared with us, which is, what challenges do you think you foresee in ensuring equitable access to digital learning for students from, you know, like you said, semi-urban and rural regions?
Yes, yes. Thank you again. Very pertinent question, because universities are different, locations are different, so challenges are different. The very first challenge is obviously, as I told earlier also, arranging that robust digital infrastructure and support, because it needs huge finances, but our management is planning for that. Equitable access to technology and digital literacy. What I feel, availability of tools, techniques, and the most important thing is training and skilling of the student as well as the faculty. Maintaining student engagement and motivation, changing their mindset. See, when you have to adopt something new, there is always some resistance. It is a rural area, internet connectivity is there, but still, digital divide is there. So somehow, we are strengthening our IT infrastructure so that students can use that. Then adapting pedagogical approaches for online environment, we have to change the mindset of the faculty, we have to skill them. And as we are doing it from 2020 onwards, what we faced in 2020, in 2025, it hasn't changed. Now they have accepted it and they're moving very swiftly toward this. Socioeconomic factors are also there, because we are just dealing with this rural setup and students from rural background. Again, we are raising the awareness. We educate the student how to use technology, why to use technology, and skilling them. And then cybersecurity and safety is one of the challenge. Availability and affordability. Availability is there, but you never know when technology will see internet connectivity or something that will fail. So it is awareness creation is also a challenge. We are educating them, changing the mindset, and skilling the student as well as the faculty. That I take as challenging. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Ranjit Singh. You know, you've shared how equitable access and inclusion remains at the heart of digital transformation, despite, you know, the resistance, etc., that you mentioned, and also the certain challenges we may have in the areas where certain colleges and universities are. And, you know, ensuring that access and inclusion remain at the heart of digital transformation, it's an important reminder as we, you know, think about scaling technology in education. Thank you so much, Professor Singh. And with that, I'd like to now move on to Professor Dr. Tabrez Ahmad. Good evening and welcome once again.
Good evening, Avani. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Ahmad. Professor Dr. Ahmad is the Dean and Head at MANUU Law School, Maulana Azad National Urdu University, ex-Vice Chancellor of GD Goenka University. He is a distinguished academic leader with his rich experience in legal education and institutional leadership. And as a Dean and Head at Maulana Azad National Urdu University Law School, he brings insights into the intersection of law, education, and technology. And I must say, this is like a wonderful amalgamation. You know, we rarely come across such an amalgamation, Dr. Tabrez. This law, education, and technology. With that, I would like to ask you a question with respect to legal education. Legal education has traditionally been very classroom intensive, and I'm sure all our panelists will also agree to that. How do you see AI, online platforms, and simulation tools changing the way law is taught and practiced?
So thank you, Vani, for asking a very pertinent question about the role of AI in legal education. So let me share my thoughts that it is a great opportunity for all the lawyer, judges, and law students that the problem we faced in our time, because we used to get a case from our teacher and we have to go to library, get Xerox and read and come to the class. Even getting the Xerox was a great challenge to prepare the case for the class. But nowadays, it is very easy for all the teachers, law students, judges, lawyers. Simply they can go and log into any online journal. Even by support of AI, they can filter out the case. They can filter out the case name, recommended cases. Even by support of AI, they can find out that what is the possibility of getting in favor if you cite those cases. So this is going to provide a sufficient kind of the support to the legal professionals, because they used to waste a lot of time just to search the case, find the case. But right now, that problem is not there. It means that now focus can be on the analysis, and focus can be reading the kind of the supporting judgments, reading about these dissenting opinions, and also trying to focus on the judge. Even you can also find out that if you're going to argue in support of a case to a particular judge, you can find out that judge philosophy, his ideology, and what is the chances to win, because he might be deciding cases supporting certain ideology. For example, if you know about the V.R. Krishna Iyer, he was a great supporter of the human rights. So any case will go in front of his the court, and anybody is violating the human rights, he cannot win the case, because he is great supporter of the protection of the human rights. Same way, Jesse Kuldeep Iyer, he was great supporter of the environment. So anybody polluting environment in any industry, any company, anybody, if it case will go, he will never actually accept the violation of the human rights and also the environmental protection, a lot of things. So my point is that this is the changing time, and the support of the AI and the technology, all the law student, lawyer, judges, is a great help for them. And also because it is going to provide them a lot of support in drafting, because earlier the first challenge is research. Research is solved because the support of the AI and the you can say the chat GPT or DeepSeek, all the support system, even Google online journals, you can just filter out the good kind of the content. Plus even in drafting support, because a lot of formats are already online, simply just fill up the address, name, party name, and just print out. It is saving a lot of time. Same way for judges, it's very easy for decide the case, because they can use the AI, and also support of AI, they can analyze that what is going to be the party's argument and which party should be winning the case, in which favor the judgment is given. So my point is that, but the issue is that how many law school, how many law teachers, how many government lawyers, they are fully ready to utilize these kind of technologies. How many have access? How many have really the latest version of all these technologies? So this requires a lot of access issues, a lot of support, plus training issues for everybody.
Sure. Thank you, Thank you so much for that, Dr. Tabrez. And I think what your insights you're sharing are very, very relevant, especially like I said, when we look at the intersection of law, education, and technology, and here definitely legal education. I'd also like to understand from you, Professor Dr. Tabrez, that with your leadership experience, the institutional leadership experience across universities, what do you think are the governance and policy changes that are needed to scale technology-enabled learning effectively?
It's a very good point, because definitely government supports are required to focus a lot on the governance. For example, now currently the UGC, even the Bar Council of India, every governing body, they are, even Government of India, giving a lot of support. For example, right now UGC is saying every university and college, they should have 30% content of online learning, the online classes. Okay. This way, I think they are, by the policy change, and then now they're bound to utilize. Earlier days, when I realized my days, when we were just going to switch over from the chalk and talk learning to the project-based learning, the old professor used to say that, oh my God, this is for those teachers who cannot teach well, so they are using PPT in the class. They're just going reading from PPT. The idea was not that. Idea was the engagement in the classroom. But if you're using the PowerPoint projector in the classroom, you can bring the very good material. You can bring the live materials, plus you can bring music, mixing of the colors, plus you can bring a video. So this way you can have the great engagement in the classroom. So now the government is telling almost all universities train the faculty and also utilize the kind of multimedia in the classroom. And also in NIAC and NIRF ranking, they now take a lot of components. If some marks are there, how much you have the online content, how many the programs are running in the online medium, whether faculty is using gadgets, how many classrooms, how many multimedia projectors, whether you have your journal plus online resources, how much you subscribe. So the governance is very, very important. Otherwise, there's a lot of challenges is there. Plus, government is providing a lot of support in terms of free softwares. For example, there is a lot of online journals UGC is giving free of cost. You just subscribe and no need to pay. But definitely there are very high class materials which require a lot of investment. So I think the government further supports that all the universities, colleges, they can subscribe to all these online journals, train the faculty. So this way, I think the governance is very important. For example, if you talk about the pandemic, only 30% universities were ready and they could survive. 70% universities, mostly they were rural areas, government universities, or the some private, not ready about the running classes, online medium, teaching on the online platform, meeting on the online platform. Plus, they don't have the online journals, they don't have e-books. So pandemic was a great supporter of the IT in the education, especially creating kind of confidence, building measure in the student, faculty, and the management that how IT can provide a lot of support. For example, assessments. Now, assessment is big support, because right now, if you use the analysis of the results of the student, the performance at various level, you can find out that how they're performing and how their skilling is growing. Earlier in the traditional media, it is very difficult to find out the performance level, plus where to focus and which skill they're having the gap. So now, as per the NIRF ranking, they have the analysis of the results, and they have to see the growth, how a student, when he was taken in the university college, how he has grown, what skill has grown. This way, I think the AI support for the analysis of the result is a big booster for focusing particular skill and refining the student. This way, I think to bring the excellence, if we have the lot of support about the governance model in terms of the online platforms, it will be great support for the student plus faculty plus national level. We can compete with the world. Right now, see, the rankings, 54 universities have crossed the ranking. They have got the global ranking. It was not the case earlier, because in just last 1 year, 11 universities crossed. It was 43, now 54. So this way, if you see the global ranking, Indian universities are very fast going to the global ranking. It is because of the use of technology. And this reform happened only after the pandemic, once we realized that how IT can support the higher education.
Sure, Dr. Tabrez Ahmad, thank you so much. I think those are very, very insightful points, and the way you're talking about how universities are, moving to the global ranking level, and that's all because of technology. That is such a, boost for all of us to think about and reflect on and contribute to even more. So thank you so much, Professor Ahmad, for bringing in that legal education perspective and the governance lens also. Your insights help us see how policy and practices, must evolve together. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
And with that, I'd like to now very warmly welcome Professor Saily, Talodhikar, Head Corporate Relations of Dr. D.Y. Patil Vidyapeeth, Global Business School and Research Center. Welcome, Professor Saily.
Thank you, Avni. Thank you so much.
Great. So Professor Saily Talodhikar is the head of corporate relations with over 15 years of professional experience, spanning 7 years in the HR IT industry and 7 years in training. She has designed and delivered customized learning programs across corporates and higher education. So, Professor Saily, I would like to understand, with this vast experience and extensive work that you have done, in the domain of soft skills and campus to corporate transitions, how do you think can AI, digital platforms, and immersive tools strengthen the employability of students?
Right. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. And it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me here. Avni, first of all, I will like to correct that I am engaged with Dr. D.Y. Patil Vidyapeeth as a visiting faculty, but I do not head the corporate relations there. And I have my own company name, Propulse Training Solutions. I think there is some miscommunication, it may be, although it was conveyed earlier.
I'm so
Although
sorry about that.
it is absolutely fine, but a very good topic which I am asked to contribute on. And definitely, I am honored to share my perspectives on it. Right. So, yes, today research from UNESCO also says that the learners, they need blended learning resources. And I am the one, our company is also into corporate trainings. And we are someone who works with millennials as well as the Gen Z. So, yes, the professionals today as well as the students, they need resources where they can learn at their own pace, because they are many a times they are engaged in their own assignments. So there is a need where they can pursue upskilling courses, and which will result in better decision making ahead. So yes, even if they are knowing basic AI tools, they are going to stand out tomorrow in the workforce, and it is going to definitely strengthen their employability. It is the need of the hour that they should mention AI tools in their resume, at least the basic ones. There is a need that they also mention the use of prompt engineering. So it is the need of the hour that they upskill themselves with the AI courses and the basic tools. They should be able to know how the tools has to be used effectively, because nowadays there are many businesses as well who are integrating AI tools in their processes. So definitely, if the students today they are knowing how to use AI, they are going to automate the tasks when they join the workforce tomorrow, and which will also lead to better decision making, and it will be easier for them to take lead in handling strategic roles and better decision making. So yes, it is going to automate the tasks, and it will also lead to productivity in the workforce, and ultimately they will drive success to the organization as well. Right. Apart from this, yes, NEP 2020 also, it has already set the direction by encouraging the students to use the platforms like Diksha, Swayam, and many other virtual labs. And we have the shining example of IIT, where the students, they are learning the virtual labs. So need of the hour is that they engage themselves in experiential learning. So even the teachers and trainers today, they need to adapt with the technology, because it is there today to empower, I think, both the students as well as the trainers, teachers. And our focus has to be to empower students and make them, enable them to think creatively and provide solutions tomorrow to the world, and just not be the consumers of knowledge, right? Because there are so many knowledge resources available, so they need to upskill themselves so that they can think creatively and bring the innovation in the workforce, right? So at our institution, we are operating virtually. Propulse Training Solutions, we are adopting the adaptive learning systems powered by AI, so that we ensure also that students learn at their own pace. So even if they are interested in attending the live sessions, we have a different platform for it, and we are also providing them self-paced courses. Right, so our focus is not just to teach them, but to ignite creativity and curiosity. So faculties, I think, today need to be prepared so that the technology complements their wisdom and it is not there to compete them. So yes, I will conclude with this thought that emerging technologies, here they are to empower both.
Great.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much, Professor Saily, for those insights, and how you're talking about technology is here not to compete but to complement their strengths. In fact, everybody's strengths, and here to help us makes a very, very strong point here. And stemming from that, I would also want to ask you a question which is related to gap. We sort of see this adoption gap, and so faculty members and students often engage with technology but at very different paces, right?
Exactly.
So what strategies do you think you have found most effective in bridging this adoption gap?
Strategies, I think the use of AI, ChatGPT,
Sure.
and so many different tools, they have so many different features. Now, even if we are having this meeting, we could have integrated it with Fire note taker AI. That is just a new learning for me that I have come up with. So these basic things actually we can apply to the routine life, and we can make learning very easy for us, and which can be retained for a long time. So need of the hour is to inculcate more experiential learning techniques, more of activities which can drive the learning, rather than, yes, as earlier other panelists have also mentioned, rather than just using the PPT and just making it lecture based. We need to give them experiences which can impact their learning process.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Saily,
Thank
for
you.
connecting employability and soft skills with technology adoption. I think it's a very, very valuable bridge between campus learning and corporate readiness. So thank you so much once again.
Pleasure speaking. Thank you, Abhi.
Thank you so much. And with that, I would like to move to Dr. Archana Bahulikar. Good evening and welcome, Dr. Archana.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks, Avni, for inviting me for this session.
Most welcome. So, Dr. Archana Bahulikar is the head of corporate relations of Marathwada Mitra Mandal Group of Institutions. She's an accomplished HR leader with over 15 years of experience in human resources, specializing in HR strategy, employee engagement, performance management, organizational culture, leadership development, talent management, and DEI initiatives. She, as I mentioned, currently serves as the head of corporate relations at Marathwada Mitra Mandal Group of Institutions. So once again, welcome, Dr. Archana. And with that, I have an interesting question to ask and quite curious to understand from you and your vast experience and expertise, Dr. Archana. So given your experience in both corporate L&D and academia, how do you see AI and digital platforms transforming the future of talent readiness and employability?
Certainly. So basically, when I say about the AI is, making learning more personalized and practical nowadays. It also helps tracking the skill in real time. It also blends education with real world projects and guides people on what to learn next. Also talking about the digital credential that will make it easier to show what you can do. In short, I would say that AI makes talent development faster, smarter, and more practical. And this is also helping people to stay ready for the jobs that exist today and those that don't exist or yet has not been started in the industry. So overall, AI is helping the industry in at a large scale, uh, to overall for the employer as well as I would say for the employees too.
Sure, great, Dr. Archana. I think what you're saying is very, very helpful here, underlining the, human side of talent readiness. With respect to that, I'd also like to understand from you that, our faculty members often face a little resistance, when adapting to new learning technologies. So even if I can go back to COVID times, when we all had to work from home, and even our faculty, esteemed faculty members had to work from home, I'm sure they faced certain challenge in terms of using a Zoom platform or a Teams platform, taking classes